this time, we're over here in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Let's see if I can get that sign up in here. I know it's backwards, but at least it's sitting there. We're at the train depot over here. And in the Freedom Summer of 1964, right at the beginning, 3 of the SNCC members that came down here to work, 2 of them were Jewish, Michael Schwerner and Andrew Goodman. And then there was also one of the SNCC members down here who was named James Chaney. He was black. The 3 were down here looking for a place to hold mass meetings in one of their churches so they could start organizing people, get the freedom schools, get the registration schools up, you know, teach some people how to read, those that didn't know how to read at the time, and teach them a little bit about how to interpret the Constitution, which was really just a bar for granting people access, because most of the proctors of these tests, the registrars out here in these counties, you know, they couldn't interpret the Constitution. They didn't know what the hell that shit meant. And they would just arbitrarily base their decisions on who was going to be allowed to vote and who wasn't going to be allowed to vote based on, you know, whatever it is that they said. Anyhow, so those 3 members ran out to a church to go try to figure out, you know, where it was going to be at. And some of the people out here just disappeared them. Some of the KKK members, and a whole lot of them, some high-ranking officials, a Grand Wizard and whatnot, they disappeared. They were killed. They were tortured. They were brutalized. And we're out here right now to go check out some of those sites. I might link up a video later when we get to the church, the one that they were, the last one that they were at, trying to register and get up that, you know, that freedom school going on so they could have those mass meetings. It's a little bit different out here back then, you know. A lot of people didn't actually know that they had the right to vote. That was how messed up shit was. A lot of people died so that we could practice democracy. We need to make that a reality. Not a lot of people in these days and age think that democracy is something that actually works. A lot of people don't believe that voting works, and that might actually be true, depending on the way the system is being run by these corporations and why the government is afraid to challenge these corporations and whatnot. But you know what? We need to make that a reality. We need to make sure that everybody's voice counts and that we get to a better way of living. And I think that if all of us actually can have a voice in this thing, we might get something done. So let's check this out. Let's never forget what our predecessors sacrificed so that we could be alive and free today.
Center of all the civil rights activities in Philadelphia. Anytime a civil rights activist, anyone came into this town, this is the church they came to. Dr. King came here, Dr. Ralph Abernathy came here, Jesse Jackson, all of the political figures that came into this city, the Freedom Riders that came in and actually lived in this community, actually were associated with this church, and they lived on this street here on our left. It's a bunch of old houses there, but that's where all of them lived when they came into Shelby County. And like I said, they were relatively safe over here because the Klan wouldn't dare venture into this community, not over here. And even today, we don't have any kind of Klan activity that's ever been in this community. Because, I mean, the people here just won't tolerate it. I mean, there's certain things, they're just not going to be tolerated. And especially my generation now that's gotten older and didn't know anything about fear, we definitely wouldn't be afraid. It would be like, oh, where are they? Let us just know when they're coming across.
And so I promised you that when we got out there to this church, where they were finally starting to negotiate the visit to talk about setting up the freedom schools, this is the church. We're out here in the rural district quite a bit different from where that train station was. Klan felt much safer coming into these regions out here. There wasn't as much of a safety network as it was in town where we were at the other church, Mount Nebo, where when the Klan would cross those train tracks and they would come into that side of town, the people would come out of their homes and push the Klan back outside of that neighborhood. But here. All right, now we out here outside of Philadelphia, out here on this, well, this wooded street. Right behind me over here. That's where they found one of their bodies. This is real stuff. This makes like the 6th stop that we've made along the way. Wherein people who've been fighting for justice lost their life doing this. It's not easy coming to these places. You know, it makes it much more real, you know, how risky the business is, how far people will go when they're afraid of social change and people achieving full citizenship. And what can humans do against such ruthless hatred? Only thing I got is to push forward. See, because each and every one of our brothers and sisters that fell in the struggle for justice all knew that the potential for them to fall was there. They knew it, and they made that decision when they woke up every morning to go out there and to fight for it. And you never know when it's gonna come. It's real talk.